Hi, I am Lillian Mbayiwa, Marketing, Public Affairs and Sustainability Executive for Old Mutual. You are watching In Conversation with Trevor, Startup Series in partnership with Eight2Five Innovation Hub, powered by Old Mutual.
Greetings. Welcome to In Conversation with Trevor, Startup Series in partnership with Eight2Five Innovation Hub, powered by Old Mutual Zimbabwe. Until the Ideas Festival in October 2024, we'll be focusing on startups and their founders. Where did they get the ideas for their businesses? What challenges have they come across and how have they overcome those challenges? We're going to be focusing also on the exciting value creation challenges, the doors that it has opened for startups and their founders. Please join us for this impactful series of learnings, ideas, and inspiration. If you enjoy this episode, remember to subscribe, to like, and to share. Let's get down to some business.
Wow, for the past 14 years, I've seen my responsibilities in Old Mutual evolve, starting with just being responsible for marketing, strategic marketing within the group, added on the sustainability bit, which brought me to being responsible for our innovation and the creation of Eight2Five Innovation Hub, which I would say that has been my most exciting challenge within Old Mutual. So the idea of creating Eight2Five Innovation Hub was actually conceived in 2015, although the hub itself was launched in 2020. So in 2015, we started to have a discussion with a group of entrepreneurs who approached Old Mutual wanting to use some of our space to create an incubator. So at the time, we gave them the space and we allowed them to create the incubator. We were getting a bit of assistance from there as well in creating solutions for some of our problems. But we hadn't really had the insights that we have now to actually then develop our own corporate incubator. But we started to see quite a lot of good things happening from the incubator that these young entrepreneurs created. And I think some of the brands that you see today, like 263 Chat, like I think you heard about one of the organizations that came up with a platform to trade in Bitcoin, also came out of those young entrepreneurs. And we thought, oh, that's exciting. But to seeing what this organization then achieved, the Bitcoin organization, even Nigel with his 263 Chat, we started to think, you know what, there is something here for us. Especially when you look at the population of young people in Zimbabwe and across the continent. I think the UN percentage of young people under 30 on the continent is something like 70%. That also comes with high unemployment rates. But in terms of opportunity, that comes with an incredible opportunity for us as corporates and I think for economies to tap into their innovation and their creativity. Because by nature, these young people are becoming more and more innovative and they are creating solutions that are based on the needs that we have in our economies. So gone are the days where we see a great idea coming from the UK or America and we think we can implement it here successfully. What we need to do is to be looking at the issues, the problems that we have within our own markets and coming up with our own solutions for these issues. So that's where we then realized that, we could actually co-create solutions with these mindsets, they don't think inside the box, they think from outside the box. We come in with our own thinking inside the box and create a bit of a balance so that you have the creativity, but you also support the entrepreneurs with a bit more structure, based on what we have learned as corporates. Okay, so within the Innovation Hub, Eight2Five, as I said, our main objective really was to make sure that, we work with entrepreneurs ensuring that we are supporting them in their aspirations to launch their new products and succeed in their new businesses. And at the same time, we also wanted to tap into their creativity so we can co-create solutions with them. So within Eight2Five, we have co-working space. And the co-working space enables us to create a community for entrepreneurs. Within the community, they are able to work together, they are able to support one another, they are able to find opportunities for collaboration. We have had some great examples of startups that have come and then they've kind of like gotten together and created opportunities as a collaborative team. So, we think that the community itself, creating a community is very important for innovation. And then secondly, we then run some programs within Eight2Five to support entrepreneurs. We have some programs where we tap into the expertise in the market. Our own CEO, Sam, has come in, spoken to the entrepreneurs. We have offered mentorship programs for entrepreneurs in the Innovation Hub. And then we have another program which we are currently running. We're actually on the 4th cohort of the Value Creation Challenge. And the Value Creation Challenge really taps into the creativity and innovation within the Innovation Hub itself and just across the country. So we are going out and we are saying to the young people across the country, what ideas do you have that you can submit? And then we can go through a screening program so that we come up with, currently I think we are at top 23 ideas that we can nurture together. And then from the top 23, we then go through incubation on the top 10. And the incubation program runs for a period of 3 months. And again, it's like we're really working through the startups to ensure that as they walk away from the program, they have all that they need for a sound business. Whether it is the marketing strategy, whether it's their sales strategy, whether it is the business development strategy, they actually walk away with a plan that they can then start to implement. Within that program as well, we ensure that they go through mentorship. They go through even just mentorship in terms of how you present your ideas to a potential funder for those projects. They go through programs on how they can protect their intellectual property. We go into various partnerships to ensure that they're getting it and they're hearing it straight from the experts in those particular areas. Yeah, so I would say that, I think the biggest achievement that we feel we need to make within the program is to ensure that we are building new businesses, new successful businesses. That is just really our main objective. So how do we get entrepreneurs to know about Eight2Five Innovation Hub and to come and use the space? What we did when we created Eight2Five Innovation Hub was that we ensured that we partner with entrepreneurs to actually run with the space. So we are acknowledging that we are a corporate and we might not be the best people to run the hub. So we went into a partnership with entrepreneurs who actually runs with the hub. So they know best what other entrepreneurs need. So what they benefit from and how they get to know about the Innovation Hub, we've got a number of vehicles. We run quite a number of programs that we enable and we stream so that the entrepreneurs even outside of the Innovation Hub have access to the number of guests that maybe we bring in to speak and to mentor entrepreneurs. So we try and make our programs as widely accessible and available as possible. And then secondly, we have very active social media channels where we are creating communities and, we are interacting with entrepreneurs and startups from across the country. We also have, get-togethers with entrepreneurs, within the Innovation Hub. So they are on a regular basis events that happen within the Innovation Hub, where we invite other entrepreneurs to come in. We ask maybe someone of interest to come and give a talk, and then thereafter people mix and mingle. So, those are all ways that, we can access, we can get more people than those that we can accommodate within the Innovation Hub to also have access to some of our programs. And as I said before, the Value Creation Challenge is also another opportunity that we have made sure that, we are communicating and creating awareness across the country. In the past, I think when we started, we were very much focused on Harare, but as time went on, we just started to expand the programs quite a bit. So you will see that a lot of our successes in the past have not really come from Harare. They've come from Nyanga, they're deep in Nyanga, they've come from Bulawayo, and that's what we want to see. We want to see a scale in terms of our reach across the country. In terms of resources that we provide to the entrepreneurs, there are quite a number of them. First of all, we know that entrepreneurs, need some support in terms of building their strength, in terms of understanding the business and understanding, how to create profitability, commercialize, and so forth. So we've worked with startups, even from ideation stage, assisting them get to a stage where they become early startups, and then even later on as they launch their products into the market. Those programs that we provide for them include the incubation program that I spoke about, where we actually put programs in place, teaching our startups on certain techniques or professional strengths that they need for their businesses to succeed. For example, we would teach them on finance. For example, how do they put together their finance strategy, their accounting systems, the need for them to at least a certain extent formalize their businesses. So in terms of registration of their business, it's quite critical for you to succeed as a startup. Registration process, how can you protect your intellectual property, and even tax, the need for entrepreneurs to be registered. So as much as there is a lot of I think there's a lot of weight on startups and entrepreneurs in terms of some of the formalities that they need to adhere to, especially when it comes to registering for tax and so forth. But we're always encouraging our entrepreneurs that some form of formalization is required, because then they're also able to get access to some of the interventions that they need to have an address where they can be found, even by their own customers. So we really support some level of formalization, and then we bring in even some funding, although, at this stage, would like to do more, but we are doing some to a level that, we are able to. We also have products within our group, within Old Mutual, that are aimed at supporting startups and entrepreneurs. For example, we've got, our SME product, that comes with our banking subsidiary CABS. We also have microfinancing that also comes through our microfinance company. We also have, as I said, some level of seed capital that we give out through the Value Creation Challenge here within the Innovation Hub. But I think most importantly, the programming that we offer that supports them so that they can succeed even when they get funding, that it can be a success story. I think that's what we offer quite a bit of. So the Innovation Hub really believes in collaborations. And one of the first interventions we launched when we launched the Innovation Hub, the Value Creation Challenge, we were very clear that it's something that we are not able to do alone as Old Mutual. I think the value chain around innovation requires different players. So we are very open to, to other players joining us in what we're doing, And we have also tapped into what other players are doing around innovation. So we have partnered with British Council from the onset when we launched the Value Creation Challenge, because they were also keen on working with entrepreneurs, especially in the creative industries. So we thought, okay, we have different pillars within the Value Creation Challenge, and we have one on creativity. So they will come and they'll take on the creative industry. And we have also had interest, the last year or two from the British Council itself, because they also have an aspiration to be supporting new businesses and entrepreneurs. We also have an organization called Udugu. They, Dr. Lilian, he's got a team of entrepreneurs who help us run with this space. So as I said, we know what our limitations are. We are a corporate, we are good at what we do, but certainly, our entrepreneurship programs, we believe that will take a lot more from the entrepreneurs themselves. And we are currently talking to another corporate. I can't mention at the moment, but very positive discussions going on around collaboration on the Value Creation Challenge, because they've come in and they're saying, the space around, small scale farming, around, certain aspects, it resonates with their business. So they would want to also collaborate and maybe support that bit of our innovation. So I'm just really saying that, innovation is not a space that one organization can own. It's a, long string of value chain that, I think everybody should play a role in. And the more that you collaborate and work together, I think the more impact then that it has on the entrepreneurs. We've had quite a number of startups that have benefited from Eight2Five Innovation Hub, and some of them are now quite established. I think I will talk about Leslie Marange and his Gly Foods business. He did come through the Innovation Hub, and we were able to link him up with our business in the investment group. And we were able to work with him and fund him and help him expand his business. And he's a business that we all admire, a success story that we admire now in Zimbabwe. And I would like to say that we've also had a couple of other entrepreneurs that have come through Eight2Five. For example, the renewable energy project, Soul Gas. The team came through Eight2Five Innovation Hub, and because of the scale of the idea and their ambitions, we again link them up with our investment group. And again, it's a success story. So for the Value Creation Challenge, we have registered quite a lot of success. We have organizations like Nexo Brands in coming from the Honde Valley. This young man started to process bananas into all sorts of value-add products, including banana flour. In fact, I was quite surprised that how much you can do with banana, including maybe using some of the banana plant itself to start, making baskets and so forth. So really, that is, again, shows quite a lot of creativity. And I think for those who know Honde Valley, it's just full of bananas. And because, at times there's so much wastage in bananas, he identified an opportunity right there to then just dry up the bananas, create even the dried banana fruit itself as a snack, and then also the flour and so forth. And then we also have another, very success story from Blawayo, Noble Savage. This gentleman saw an opportunity in turning waste into some building material, and he's creating some tiling, roof tiles for coming out of waste. And I think in an environment where we've become very conscious again about the management of waste, I think that just shows the level of creativity that we are seeing in our own people. When he talks about the strength of his tiles that are coming from waste, even when you compare with the tiles that we currently have in the market, very, very strong tiles. So, those are some of them. And then we've got another gentleman, Texpal, who's come up with a platform that will assist entrepreneurs for them to be able to work out their tax and then file their tax on an annual basis. So, it's I always say that the solutions really need to be coming from us. It needs to come from the entrepreneurs themselves, because they know what makes their lives much easier and how to respond to their needs. I have learned through working with entrepreneurs, I think, to be more open-minded, to be more patient, to think outside the box, and that the world is not always in black and white, and that sometimes it is always worth it to listen to somebody's idea. Some of the ideas might be quite wild, but if you really take the time to understand and to listen to the thought process where it's coming from, you might actually be looking at a very successful product in future. So it's space that I'm so motivated with. It's space that I'm happiest when I'm amongst young people. And just hearing, sometimes you're like, what drove you to think about that? And how did you even think about such a solution? So I think, as corporates, I've spent all my life in the corporate world, where we have lots of structures, we have lots of, policy to adhere to, and regulation to adhere to. But, so being able to just have a blank page and just recreate something new and fresh and innovative, I think is very motivating to me. I've also worked that solutions don't necessarily come from the big corporate. Lots of solutions out in the market from startups, opportunities to collaborate with them and co-create solutions. I think that is the only way that we can get solutions that are made for us. The challenge is that, I wish would be able to, to get past, as Lilian, as a corporate, money, and people are always saying, that, sometimes it's not about the money that the entrepreneurs need, but sometimes it's other things that they need. But I can tell you that, money is at the top. I think funding is at the top of, their needs. You find that, a startup, like we are very active in early startup, initiatives and support. There is a point where organizations like Nexo brands and, all the other TextPower, the other enter success stories that I've mentioned, where they need like a lot more funding for them to scale. There is such a gap there in the market, because I think at that level, in that level of funding, you'll find that there is requirement for a bit more security, I think, from those with the funds, and because of the nature of a startup, they might not really want to venture into that space. But I can just like confidently say that I think we need to have a bit more funding for that level, for that scaling, the level where, our startups are wanting to scale. Besides funding, I think, we also have to be mindful of the difficulties that, our startups face at times. And it might not be money, it might not be accommodation, but even mental health. I think mental health is a big issue in our market, in our environment, where our youngsters are going through a lot because of the world and the way that the world is changing and evolving, and the challenges that come with the world. So I wish there was more support, it's not affordable support for our startups around mental health. We saw that quite significantly during the COVID pandemic. That a lot of our startups would then approach us and say, what, I'm struggling, where can I get some assistance? Besides that, I feel that, I think we really need to rally together as corporates, as government, as media, as, everybody, so that we are pulling together our expertise and our resources to help elevate, our startups, especially those with the commitment and then the ideas that we believe can scale. So lastly, the big plans for Eight2Five Innovation Hub is really to increase the impact that we have in terms of scale, in terms of the quality and the standards of the programming that we have within Eight2Five. We recently partnered with Stanford Spark, which is it's a world-renowned brand that offers, again, support for entrepreneurs. And they are supporting us in offering the programs that very helpful to startups. So we have 10 startups in Zimbabwe that are going through that program currently, and we hope to continue to make and create such partnerships so that we are able to be coming up with Zimbabwean solutions for Zimbabwean problems, but at the same time being able to tap into the expertise and the experience that is all out there. So I think that kind of scale is something that we are looking forward to. We're also looking forward to expanding even the space that we have within the Innovation Hub. We are looking forward to scaling in terms of the community that we can have physically in one place. Currently we have one floor, and our aspirations is to have another floor where we can also create space, workspace for our entrepreneurs. We are also looking to restructure even our business model within Eight2Five so that we are able to some extent commercialize some of our operations in partnerships, obviously, with the entrepreneurs themselves, in partnerships maybe with other corporates, in partnerships with, I think, those who have funding available, so that we can be able to offer that level of funding I spoke about earlier for those startups that have succeeded in their ideation and early startup and are ready to scale.